Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the truth about Dick Cheney's death. So, for this video, to make sure that you're not misled and looking at a video that's not for you, what this video is about is why people should have, in life when they are alive, for that matter, try to focus on giving a good legacy instead of a bad legacy. Okay. And to be more specific for this video, I'm talking about why you should do good things in life so you don't end up dying and getting negative responses through people's comments in, the YouTube comment section or any comment section for any platform. Okay. So that's what I'll be talking about today. So if you're not interested in that, this is not the video for you. But if you're interested, then watch. Okay. Now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the truth about Dick Cheney's death, as you already know from what I explained earlier on for this video, what's going on with Dick Cheney's death, since everyone can read the comment sections for YouTube and for any popular social media website, but specifically, of course, YouTube, for that matter, okay? The truth of the matter is, when you look at Dick Cheney's death and how negatively people are reacting to it, this is a lesson in life that people should understand, that when you are alive on this planet, you should do your very best to give a good legacy for yourself, okay? Because look at Dick Cheney and look at how much people are ripping him apart in the comment sections on YouTube, okay? Look at how terrible that is, okay, for that matter, okay? If he truly is able to see the reaction people have to him after he's dead, which obviously we don't know what happens to people after they die, but if he's able to, he's definitely not taking it very well. Because most of the comments I see is just pretty much people saying, you know what, he brought this on himself. He deserved to die. You know what, I actually feel so much happier that he's dead, and so on and so forth, because he was a terrible person. Nothing useful to the world was lost and stuff like that. You can read it yourself. Exactly the type of stuff I'm saying, okay? So the truth of the matter is, for anybody watching this video, yes, you watching this video, the person who's watching this, okay? I don't know what obviously you are doing with your life and so on and so forth, but the truth of the matter is, would you actually in life want to end up like this, in the situation Dick Cheney is in? Like, that is horrible. That is truly horrible, to think that he is in a situation like he is in, where people just don't give a shit, about the fact that he's dead. And not just don't give a shit, they actually seem to be kind of happy that he's dead. And not even kind of happy, but like really happy that he's dead, because they think that he didn't do a very good job, as vice president. And not just not that he didn't do a good job, but more specifically, he was responsible for the deaths of numerous people because he's a war criminal. And that's the truth of the matter, that I'm trying to get across here. So what the message of this video is, or more like the lesson of this video, okay, is that if you're anyone in life, okay, especially if you're someone who has potential, okay, if you are going to try to get yourself in a field of politics, which politics is a very rewarding job if you pick it, because it gives you a lot of power, make sure you do the right thing so you're remembered in the right way. Because could you imagine being someone who worked all this time and effort to rise to the top, of the political field and all this type of shit and so on and so forth, just for you to eventually, of course, die, let's just say of old age, and all you're remembered for is being a piece of shit, and everyone pretty much says, we're so grateful that you're dead. Like, and not even just about how you would react, if you can obviously see how people are reacting, but also as well, how do you think your family feels? How do you think, like, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your uncle, aunts, your parents, and most importantly of all, of course, let's be honest, your kids feel about seeing all this terrible stuff being said about you? as a person, okay? So this is why for anyone in the world who has any potential, or just in general, anyone who at least is very hardworking so they have the ability to get in politics, okay? This is why you should do the right thing so you're remembered for the right reasons. Okay? So people do not, say shit about you. Yes, there will always be people who will say, you know what, I'm glad this person's dead. He did a lot of stupid shit and blah, 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 or negative stuff that affected us. But sometimes, and not even sometimes, if you're actually overall a good person, it kind of becomes kind of clear in the majority of cases, yes, this is not his problem, this politician, this problem is your problem. You're just fussy. Like like sometimes people might hate a politician because they lost their farm, but closing that farm open up like for example a hospital, and not just a hospital, but one of the best hospitals in the world that not only offers the best quality medical care, but obviously has most amount of room to take in the most amount of people, of course, who are sick. So of course, in the end of the day, people are just going to write off that person who is a hater, who said, oh, we're going to lose our farm, when you can obviously realize that, oh my goodness, look at how much we've benefited from, of course, this hospital. Yes, he lost his farm, but he still got paid money so he could find another job, but he still wants to fuss about his farm, or just anyone who has stupid concerns, let alone issues for whatever reason, because in the majority of the day, if you're a good person, people are going to all unanimously at some point down the road, for future generations, say you're a good person, pretty much. I'll say you're a good person. You're going to be remembered in a good way, in a positive way. And even in your lifetime, the majority of people see you in a positive way instead of people seeing you in a negative way. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say here. So would you want to put yourself in a situation, where you're just remembered in a shitty way? Or do you want to put yourself in a situation where you're remembered in a good way, so people remember you for the good things you do? So when you die, you can rest easily knowing that people are going to say positive things about you and saying things like they miss you and so on and so forth, instead of just saying, oh God, I hate this person, I'm so glad he's dead, and so on and so forth. Because my God, that does not sound like a pleasant death to me at all, in all honesty. At least if our interpretation of the afterlife, the Christian interpretation, that after you die and stuff, you're able to see your family and this and that and so on and so forth, and what people had to really say about you, or more like what they had to really think about you. That's hell, especially when you were someone like Dick Cheney. Okay, so in short, my message for this video is, this is why if you have any potential to do things, you should do it for good and not for evil, so you don't have to, when you die, be remembered in a terrible way and just have people just taint your legacy, okay? Besides, the point of this channel is to give advice to people on political issues, mainly, and just in general, advice for life, but specifically political issues. So if you're interested in politics and taking it up, then this is definitely good advice for you. Because, man, what he's going through, with how you're seeing how people are reacting, at least if he's able to look up from above, with what's going on this planet, now that he's dead, is definitely not a pleasant experience, and that is the truth of the matter. So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. And if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumb this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is it. And simply put it, I'm out. So bye.